Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the Firehouse stage in beautiful downtown North Manchester, it's Good Night with Christopher Blue!
Hello and welcome to Good Night with Christopher Blue. I'm Christopher Blue, and tonight we have a wonderful show for you. We are talking about mental health, a very serious and important topic. And to talk about it with me tonight, my assistant, Harley! How you doing, Harley?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Great.
This is a good Monday evening. Is it not?
Mm-hmm.
You're nervous.
Just a little.
You don't usually do this kind of thing.
No.
Unless I force you to.
Yeah. I'm usually up here with like two other people.
Yeah. So I'm glad you actually pitched this idea to me. In one of our meetings, and I said, this is a wonderful idea. I'd love to talk about mental health. I want to use this show not only to entertain, but also to educate people. And so when you brought this to me, it was a no-brainer. So are you ready for the questions that I pre-submitted to you?
Yep, I got them ready.
As you know, this show is chaos, so I might come up with a question you are not prepared for.
Okay.
So first off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Harley Shepherd. I just turned 18 in May, and I just graduated in June.
She will be looking at notes on her phone,
yes,
by the way, because she's nervous, and that's okay.
I'm taking a gap year this year, and then next year I am planning on going to college to become a therapist.
Awesome. So you, right now, you're not a professional. You're going to college for it.
Right.
And you're not claiming to be a professional.
No.
But why do you think it is important for people to learn about mental health?
I think it's important for people to learn about mental health because a lot of people don't understand that your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And a very big part about your mental health is learning more about who you are and getting to know and love yourself internally, not only the outside, because your outside really does not matter as much as who you are on the inside, and that's a very big thing to me.
Yeah. So what exactly is mental health then? Help us understand.
So basically, mental health is your emotional and psychological well-being. It controls your cognitive behavior and perception functions. It also shows how we handle stress, relationships, and decision-making in everyday life. Maintaining a good mental health is just as important as keeping up with your physical well-being. If you're not physically healthy, it will affect your mental health, vice versa. Yeah.
Okay. Take a deep breath. You're doing great, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
So then on the other end, what is mental illness or mental disorder?
So mental disorders and mental illnesses, they're kind of around the same idea, but mental disorders are caused by many different conditions that affect your emotions, decisions, and your behavior. Having a mental disorder or mental illness can put a strain on how you live your life and your routine if you don't know about it, or if you do know about it and you just haven't gotten the proper treatment for it. A lot of people don't realize that they have something wrong, and it's really frustrating when they don't realize what's going on and they see their friends and their family living their lives to their fullest and they have something holding them back and they don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. For a long time, I always joked, I probably have ADHD.
Yeah.
But then as I got older and I didn't really look into it, I'd find myself, getting more frustrated with myself, other people getting frustrated with me, and I didn't have answers until I finally,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I finally went to someone, and they were like, you have something. And
a lot of people out there, they realize that they have something wrong, and because there's this stigma around mental health, they have a hard time accepting it. And what I'm here to talk about is that it's not an issue, and that you need to accept it in order to move on with your life and have this experience, that way you know what you're handling and how to handle it, because honestly mental health can be a beautiful thing. It's not all bad.
See, that was an unscripted moment, and that was wonderful. Thank you. That was So, what are the most common disorders?
So the most common disorders are anxiety and clinical depression. And because they're very common and a lot of people have them, most people overlook them and they think like, oh, I have this, you have this, it's not a big deal, let's not talk about it. But that's not the case at all. In fact, you should be talking about these things, because if you talk about them, somebody else will open up about their experience, and you can bond over that and you can help each other with that. But they do need to be taken seriously.
Yeah. You spoke of anxiety and depression being the more common ones. What? Let's dive deeper into that. What is anxiety and what is depression?
So anxiety disorder is a disorder that causes worry and fear in one's daily life. It can cause other issues like panic disorder, most commonly known as a panic attack, obsessive compulsion disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Without the proper attention, it can cause physical issues such as irritable bowel syndrome, which is when anxiety gets to a certain point that it gets so bad that it takes toll on your physical health and it causes like excruciating stomach pains. Depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain, and the imbalance causes your mood to fluctuate. Depression can be caused by many things. It can be inherited from your parents, your grandparents. It can be early childhood experiences that can be considered traumatizing towards you. And it's not something to be taken lightly, because it can cause issues such as a loss in your activities, sadness, discontent with not only inside yourself, but with everything else going around you, and isolation and many other things. Like with discontent, like you could easily be doing one thing, like be super pumped, super excited about it. Like my thing is writing. I love to write, and then I'll get in this like episode where I don't want to do anything and I just hate everything around me and I don't want to mess with it. Like that's what it causes, and it fluctwates on a day-to-day.
Well, at that point, again, another unscripted moment. At that point, what do you do to try to get yourself out of that funk, or
usually, I probably need better coping mechanisms, but what I usually do is I take that day that I feel like I don't want to do anything, and I do spend a lot of my time in bed, but I'm not just like sleeping or anything. I'm doing, like, I'm resting my body, I'm resting my mind, I'm playing video games, I'm watching videos, or I'll take a bath or take a shower and do like a skincare healthy type thing to make myself feel more refreshed and feel better. And usually by the next day, I'm feeling a lot better.
Again, you're not a professional, you're not claiming to be, but what advice can you give to help others who may be struggling or think they might have these disorders? So
if you think that you might have anxiety or depression, my first advice to you would be to set up an appointment with a doctor. A doctor will prescribe you the right medications, and they'll send you to a therapist. And a therapist is great. A lot of people don't like therapists because it's like, oh, I'm going to a therapist. You must think I'm crazy. That's not the case at all. I go to a therapist, and she was the most amazing person I had ever met. Like, I had a bond with her, and she taught me things that really helped out. Like, my anxiety got better, my depression got better. Another thing that I do is I have a lot of different hobbies. So that way when I do feel a little burnt out and like tired of one thing, and I feel myself kind of starting to hate it, I just go do something else and lean on that, because that'll make me want to do the other thing again eventually. And another thing too that's very serious is that if you're having thoughts of suicide, I want you to know that you're not alone and that you are loved, and there is something for you in this life, and ending it is not the answer. You can call this hotline if you are in need of immediate help. It's 800-273-8255.
Yeah, we'll put that number on the screen, but we'll also put that number in the description of this video. Harley, thank you so much for coming and talking about this serious thing. Again, I do like to take a small break from high entertainment and talk about these serious things. And again, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Harley. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified whenever we upload new content. Until next time, good night, my sweet baby angels. I'll see you tomorrow.